Hello, 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 and welcome back to LaserBeam Live. This is episode number 49. You know the deal. My name is Ikenna for CNC Labs, and whether it's morning, afternoon, evening, or night, I appreciate you spending just a little bit of your time with me. Whether you're watching this live, really appreciate it, or if you're watching this back, because these get saved on our YouTube channel under the live tab, still appreciate you. Go ahead and like this stream. I remember this time. I remember early, like the stream. We really appreciate it. And we're going to get right into this. So, what are we doing today? Today, well, let me tell you what the original plan was. The original plan was to make a clock. So, cut out a little piece of wood. I bought the clock mechanism, very inexpensive from Amazon, and I was going to bolt it in. But for the past 2 days, the Amazon delivery driver has been coming to our office at like 7 p.m. and has been missing us in the office. So I don't have the clock mechanism, but we're still going to do something cool in lieu of that, and we'll continue this next week. So today we'll be actually cutting out the clock, but next week we'll actually be putting the mechanism in. Maybe we'll do a secondary one. Maybe we can do a two-layered one where we're cutting stuff out of wood and then maybe an acrylic layer in the back to make this really cool kind of two-tone kind of color for the clock. But today, we're still going to be cutting out the clock face. We just don't actually have the clock mechanism. But I have something really cool for you guys. So for the past few weeks, we've been using the magnetic mount. And then last week, I believe, or maybe it was the week before that, or the stream before that, we started using the honeycomb bed. And this time, oh, there we go. 1 second, guys. I just got to add this. I got to add this media source really quickly. There we go. That should do it. There we go. Okay. So this time, I have a little prototype Pro Air Assist as well. So this is kind of like the trifecta. So this is phase one. This is essentially phase one of the LaserBeam add-on. So before I get into that any deeper, Jack in the Shop, thank you so much for joining us. Resident Laser Demon. Bill, thank you for joining. Michael, thank you for joining. Barry, thank you for joining. Nicholas, thank you for joining. And if you are here today, and you were also here the 2 weeks ago when I was on vacation, thank you so much for joining. I know I physically wasn't there live. I was in the chat for a little bit, but I appreciate you. I had a good time in taking my vacation. I had a great time just relaxing, having a few drinks, having some good food, dancing, good weather, chilling in the pool. So it was a great time for me. I appreciate you guys being patient with me, but I'm back. Guys, we're only about 3 streams away, about 6 weeks away from hitting our 2-year mark. And I'm going to let you guys know this now. At the 2-year mark, we're going to be taking a little break. And when we come back, the LaserBeam Live will become the UltraBeam Live, in which I will have a CO2 laser prototype here in lieu of the long mill and the LaserBeam. And we will start doing CO2 projects. We'll see how it all shakes down when I have a little bit more detail, but let's get back to the add-ons. But like I said, before I want to put all my focus to the UltraBeam, and right now we're looking to hire another engineer so that we can get somebody full-time working on that while I'm like managing the project and also managing the LaserBeam. I wanted to get at least phase one of these add-ons out, so I'm prototyping and I'm ordering samples and stuff. And right now, we have our magnetic mount. I adjusted the design very small. We put it in order for about 300 sets of magnets. So this first batch is just going to be a batch of 300. If you guys like it, you guys sell it out, then cool, we'll do a second batch. If not, then that'll just be a batch that makes sure that we have stock, and anybody who does want it will get it over the next like year or something. But yes, so I'm making progress on that. There's only one more part, a unique part. There's only one unique part other than the 3D printed part that I need to order from one of our manufacturers, and that I'm going to send our files in very soon so we can get quoted and sampled, and then production can start. We also have the bed, so the honeycomb bed. Right now I'm working on a way that we can remove the side panels so that you could put them together if you want a larger size. right? I think 400 by 400 millimeters is like the perfect size, because if you stack two, then you essentially have the 12-inch like work area of the 12 by 30 long mill. And if you stack three, then you essentially have the 30-inch work area. And then if you stack four, then you essentially, and over and over and over. So you can essentially just keep stacking them. It'll essentially be modular. If you only make small items, then you can just get one. But if, let's say, you make huge items and you want the benefit of having a honeycomb bed, then you can get a really big, you can get it multiple, and then I just have to find a way to clip them together, maybe removing the side panels and then allowing them to clip together so that they're not raising on the side panels, they're sitting on the honeycomb, so you get that benefit. So the product itself is pretty simple. It's just more about like finding a way to make it a more modular system. And then finally, because I was waiting for the Amazon delivery and it wasn't coming, I started designing the Pro Air Assist nozzle, and I ordered a small air pump from a supplier overseas. It does 30 liters per minute, which is pretty on par for all like the X-Tool Air Assist kits and like all the Ortor Air Assist kits, all the, you know, all the big laser companies that make diode lasers, and they have their own laser Air Assist kit with the nozzle. It pretty much matches the air pumps of those, which is 30 liters per minute. And I just 3D printed a quick nozzle. So obviously the end product wouldn't be 3D printed because the heat would melt the plastic and all that fun stuff. But I thought since the pump came in today, I would quickly design something and then I could actually test. So right now, as you can see this. We have the pump over there, sitting right there. And then we have the nozzle down here, and it's connected, and it's blowing air. So now we have an even better air assist system. And right now, I essentially designed it so that the focus ring is the nozzle. So I remove the hose coming from the air pump. I twist it into focus. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a locking ring, which is essentially just a threaded little ring. So as soon as you lock in your focus, you can lock it in, so it's not going to go anywhere. And then once it's locked, then you can attach the nozzle. So I'll probably get one of those like push pulls, so you're not actually having to like wiggle it on. You'll just push the thing, put it in the nozzle. So essentially the workflow goes, you take your focus ring off your lens, you put this nozzle on your lens, you twist it, you focus it, you lock it in with the lock ring, the lock nut essentially. It's acting like a lock nut. You lock that in, and then you literally just plug in the hose, right? And then you can go from air assist to non-air assist, and that's essentially the procedure. We'll see. If I like it, that's why I'm going to test this prototype. If I don't like the procedure, then I'll change it up and I'll change up the design. But this is something quick that I can really test. And because we're cutting today, hopefully this increases the cut, which air assists do. And obviously I can get the distances better, right? Because I would want it as close to my material as possible. But for now, it's close enough. It's like maybe 5 or 10 millimeters off my material, probably like more like 8 millimeters off my material. It's 30 liters per minute pumping through the hose. It's a G2 lens. I have it focused already, and it's 3 millimeter wood. Kenny Sweat, thank you for joining us. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. So yeah, today we're gonna be cutting, and although my piece is bigger than my honeycomb bed, so hopefully, you know, on the edges we still get to take advantage of the honeycomb bed. I'll probably just run an extra few passes just to make sure. But you know, with the air assist, we should be getting really good cutting here. So I'm just excited to test it. I have 3 millimeter thick plywood. We're gonna be cutting this clock face that I got from Thingiverse. Yeah, so like Michael says, the locking ring for the focus is a great idea because the focus ring is kind of wobbly. Yeah, sometimes you can get it a little bit wobbly just because the threads, the M9 threading is never going to be perfect. So sometimes the threading is a little bit tighter, sometimes it's a little bit looser. But the lock ring will help you whether it's just normally or whether you're using the air assist. Dana, thank you so much. If you haven't checked out Dana's YouTube channel, Bucky's Custom, he's gotten an alt mill already, and he's already done the assembly. I think his computer was just updating. I saw his Instagram reel earlier today, so he should be ready to go with the alt mill already. So you can check out his channel. I know he's doing some things with JTech lasers. I know the more powerful laser system, so he's also checked them out as well. So yeah, check out Dana's YouTube channel. He's making some cool content, and he's going to be making some alt mill content. We're already putting out alt mill content on the CNC Labs channel, but I know he's going to start doing that as well. So yeah, let's just get into it. I'll share my screen with you guys. So I downloaded this just from Thingiverse, so it's a free website. You can download 3D printed files or DXF files, vector files for laser cut stuff. I just searched up clock. I found a regular clock head. I changed the colors a little bit, so this would be red, denoting our cut line, and then I also have to cut the center to be red, right? I'm actually going to unlock this and go 280 by 280. And then this, I'm going to go center and then make sure this is 140, 140. Make sure that's all centered. That looks good. Jack in the shop, thank you so much for welcoming back. Or Dana, thank you so much for welcoming back. Any news when the SLB firmware is getting an update for a Y2 proximity sensor? Unfortunately not. I'm really sorry. You can send in a ticket and somebody should get back to you with that information, but I do not know. I'm not 100% sure. Chris would definitely know. So best thing to just send in a ticket. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, so this center line is a cut. So let me show you the thing I bought from Amazon. So this was just a really inexpensive kit. Comes with 3 clocks, clock arms and like the mechanism. It's really cheap, 12, 13 bucks for a pack of 3. I'm gonna be using this short, like one of these, like the ones here. So the longest arm is 12.1 centimeters or 4.76 inches. So that's why I'm making, that would make my minimum diameter if I want the arms to be, to not go past the edge of my material or my clock face. Then the minimum diameter has to be 24.2 millimeters. So I'm making it 28 to have a little bit of a buffer there for the longest arm. But again, I just got this on Amazon. It was a pack of 3, little clock mechanism like this. The shaft diameter is, I think, about 7.97 millimeters. So I just made the inner cut circle 8 millimeters. So yeah, so everything should be good. It'll fit the face. This cut line should, or this cut in the center should be, let the mechanism go through and then you just bolt it on and boom, put in a little battery and now you got a clock, and you guys can customize this to the end, and you guys can get super cool with this. I'm making obviously a very basic one because I'm more excited to test all the little features. I got my magnetic mount, I got my little Pro Air Assist prototype, and I got a little honeycomb bed, and now I'm doing a really large cutting project. So I'm ready to go. I'm gonna save this. Let's do clock face version 1. I'll show you guys my settings here. So for the cut lines, I have going 3 millimeters per second. Oh yeah, guys, if you guys have been on the forum or anything and you guys see the new UI UX on G-Sender, it's amazing. We went through all the versions, and now the G-Sender team is going to make their final decisions, and Chris is going to be releasing that UI UX update on G-Sender Edge at first, so you guys can test it, play with it. They can make smaller changes before pushing it to the regular G-Sender. It looks amazing, guys. If you guys haven't checked out the forum, check out the forum. You guys can see a lot of the mock-ups. You can see where they're landing, and yeah, it looks absolutely amazing. Big thanks to all the G-Sender team. They did great work, and then now they're going to make something really cool that we're all going to get to use with G-Sender. So back to the cut line settings, it's 3 millimeters per second. Usually I do 2, but because I have all these features, honeycomb bed and the air assist, I think I can get away with 3. We'll find out. Maybe not. I'll have to run it again. Using max power, constant power mode, we're doing 4 passes. I have 3 millimeter thick plywood in there, so every pass is going to drop down 3/4 of a millimeter. So by the time it finishes, we're focused at the bottom of our material. Yeah, so pretty simple. You guys, if you guys have seen these LaserBeam lives, whenever I cut, the settings don't really change too much, just depending on the thickness is how many passes we do. For our engraving, we're doing 40 millimeters per second, so a lot faster because we don't want it to take too long. And then 80% power, constant power mode, pretty all basic stuff, 1 pass, all really, really cool. Alex C, thanks for joining us. He says he loves G-Sender. Kenny says, I'm looking every day to get back to get the new Edge. Oh yeah, I'm very excited because, you know, if you're using G-Sender, not a lot of visual changes for a little bit. They've made so much changes on the back end, making it run better, faster, adding all these features. But now we get a little bit of a facelift, which is really cool to see. Yeah. Dana says clocks are my favorite. Great giveaways. Oh, I didn't know that. That's really cool. I was just Molly, our marketing manager, just asked me what the live should be about before she made the post, and I was just like thinking, and I went on Google. I Googled a few things, and like I saw the clocks, and I was like, oh, that's actually really cool. The kit is really inexpensive, and you could do like the design kind of options are endless. Oh yeah, and Dana says the Dana says the alt mill is a beast. Yeah, it is, really is. Even if you're not interested in buying it, definitely check out the page, check out the videos, because it is just cool to watch, and you might just get sold on it, even if you're not interested in it. So just definitely just check out the content that's going to be coming out on CNC Labs. Check out the content that's already out. Check out the content that Dana's going to be putting out with the alt mill. So that's very cool. So regular engraving settings, nothing too crazy here. I'm going to save the G code. Oh, I already did. Let's pop off into G-Sender here. Let's open that up. Let's do this. All right, let's zero everything. And I'm just gonna frame it or do the outline. No, Kenny, don't even worry about it. I'm gonna do the outline just to see if I'm in the right spot here. Oh, I definitely got stopped somewhere. Okay, I might make this a little bit smaller, so I'm gonna double check and see what my smallest arm is. So I think my smallest arm might be the 12.1, but I just want to double check. Okay, it is the 12.1. Um, hmm. I think it just got a little bit lost here. So let me try that again. So let's zero it all. In the X, I'm 280 millimeters. So I essentially have to be pretty close to the, oh. Gotta cancel that, almost crashed into my little air pump. Okay. So that puts me pretty good. All right. I'm gonna zero it all there. And then I'm gonna go 280, and then I'm gonna move it across. Okay, and then I'm gonna go up. Okay, I almost crashed into the back. And then I'm gonna come back the way I came. Yeah, sorry, I meant the smallest arm in this kit. So this kit is, yeah, it's about 4 inches, which is 12.1 millimeters. Michael, you are very much correct. Okay, I think I'm very close to the edges, so I don't get to take advantage of having the honeycomb bed encompassing the whole design, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I have multiple passes. We have the air assist running. We'll see if we can cut it. Obviously, my material isn't perfectly straight, so we'll see we'll see what we can do. If this doesn't work, then we'll do a mini version sitting above our air assist. Kenny says, can't wait to start his business. Had a tough time in Quebec with insurance. Had to change to TD insurance. Well, that kind of sucks, but I'm glad you were able to figure it out. I'm excited for you. All the best. Keep us updated. All right, I'm just going to start this because I feel like this is going to be a pretty long job. So let's just see how long this is going to take. Yeah, so I guess we're going to be engraving first. Guys, I also ordered some 3-stage filter samples. I got one of the samples in. So I'm going to be replacing my little setup with one of the 3-stage filters and see how well that does. I'm going to be comparing it to our OhmTech filter, which is also a 3-stage filter. That one has a built-in fan, but I'll test it against a pretty powerful inline fan into our 3-stage filter. I'll test like the CFM, and we'll see which one can exhaust better. Oh, my little, I don't know how to get this out of here. Okay, there. Oh, it's saying it's going to be an hour-long job, 40-minute long job. Okay, guys. Alex asks, how many watts is the laser? It is 7 watts. The LaserBeam on our website, cnc.com. It's made specifically for the long mill, but it's a pretty standard laser. It takes a 5-volt PWM signal. And I'm just playing around with some prototype accessories that we're going to be I'll probably be launching in the next little bit. Guys, this hasn't happened in a while where we had such a long job, and I don't actually know what's making it. Oh, I think we just didn't optimize it. We just didn't optimize the code. We could have. Okay, guys, I think when it finishes the 6, I might restart it, but I'll let it run for now, and I'll see how quick we can get this. So I'm going to do the preview. It says an hour, 44 minutes. Okay, let's see what we can do to save time. So I'm going to select the engravings. I'm going to select the engraving setting, and I'm going to set fill shapes individually. Let's do a flood fill. And then let's see. Okay, that knocked off a lot of time there. Okay, that's good. Saving time to make a clock, baby. Yeah. So, I have to at least let it finish the 6, and then I can skip the 6. I can get rid of the 6, and I can let it run the rest. Here, let's see if we can do flood fill. If I do flood fill and then go fill groups together and then flood fill. Let's see if that saves us. Nope, that's the same thing. So I think flood fill is overriding it. So let's go back. We'll change it back to original, fill shapes individually, flood fill, and then I think I'm gonna go to a white space. Oh, I'm gonna enable fast white space scan, which should save us even more time. I know, but the ticks, yeah, but I think it might take too long. It's already going so slow. At least the 6. Yeah, okay, 33 minutes. It's not bad. I'm gonna save. I'm gonna just override this, or actually, I'll let it finish the 6, and then it'll just go over the ticks twice. So it might be a little bit darker, but for now, that's okay. Let's do 1.2. Because yeah, an hour 45 minutes. That's painful. As soon as it's done the 6, I'm gonna stop it. Already wasted a little bit of time. If this is correct, well, we should finish the project right at the end of the stream, which is perfect timing. So 33 minutes. We stop it right now. We let it return home, and then we restart it. Hopefully we haven't skipped any steps or anything like that, and it like... We're moving on the fly. We're doing things on the fly. You know, that's typical LaserBeam Live here. Okay, almost done. It's almost done the 6 right here. Two ticks, then stop. Ah, I know, but then, okay, fine, okay. You know, you guys win. Oh yeah, happy 4th of July to all of our Americans, okay? We just celebrated Canada Day, July 1st. Now it's your turn to do the 4th of July. Hope you guys all have a great time. All right, the people have spoken. You guys have said, that's gonna kill us in another like 3-4 minutes, guys. When our other project is 3 times faster than this one, so. But, hey, you gotta give the people what they want. Let's hope after we stop it, we return it home. Okay, so I'm just gonna redo this. It will be well made. True, guys. Guys, but this isn't real. This isn't real. Like, I'm building things, but this is more entertainment, you know. I'm just here to show you guys the way, and then you guys make something 10 times better than I could have ever made. Okay, so that's 30 minutes. That's not too bad. The 2 ticks, so I'm just gonna resave that. Replace that. All right, so now when we're done the 2 ticks, I'm gonna pause the job. We're gonna return home. Actually, I'm gonna stop the job. We're gonna return home. And then we're going to upload the new project, and then we're gonna run it again, and it should be running way faster. What did we do? We did flood fill. So instead of trying to go across here, it's just gonna finish this little tick up over here, then it's gonna move over here, finish this tick going back and forth, then it's gonna move to 3, finish this little tick going back and forth, then it's gonna move here, finish this the 9, and move here. That's why it's going faster. And there's gonna be scenarios where going across is the faster option or the better option, and then the scenarios like this, like where like everything is so spaced out that actually finishing the one thing, the one item, and then moving to the next item is actually going to be the faster option, right? Like if you were doing pictures, there's nowhere for it to go. It should be going back and forth, but because there's only 12 actual engraving marks and they're all spaced out evenly, we're losing a lot of time just in our travel, right? And then we enabled fast white space, so even the time it takes to move to the next tick, it's going to be moving at the machine's max speed and then slowing down for the engraving speed that we actually chose. But once it's done, it's going to be moving to the next tick at its max speed, and then slowing down. So I'm just zooming in so I can see a little better. As soon as it ends, we're going to be stopping it. Are you not entertained, guys? All right. Let's see how quick we are. As soon as it finishes, we're going to stop the job. Just a couple more lines left. Yeah. Jack in the shop, you're 100% right. For a project like this, going 400 millimeters per second at 30% power would be perfect. It would be done in like 5 minutes. We'd be going 10 times faster than we are right now. So it'd be done in like 3 minutes. It'd be 3 minutes worth of engraving. No problem. Okay. I think we just have like a line or two left. And I'm still gonna stop it. All right, we got a couple lines left, but I'm just gonna stop it here. I just needed to move away from the ticks so I know it's done. Oh, there we go. So we stopped it. We're gonna unlock the machine. We're gonna go to our 0. All right. We are going to load the new file. All right, we're gonna start this. There we go. That's what we want to see. That's the type of speed that we want. We got 29 minutes. We'll finish up right at the end, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at the end of the stream. We should be done this project. Hopefully it's a success. If it's not, we're going to do a part 2. Well, we'll do a part 2 next week anyways, or next live stream anyways. But hopefully we won't have to redo the engraving. So something I definitely will need to add is something that will hold the tubing in place, right? But because the tubing is attached. Oh, okay guys, I kind of fucked up. Oh, sorry, I kind of messed up. I kind of moved the material just un poquito, okay? Un poquito, okay? I made a mistake. Okay, so there's a small gap in the 9. I know. All the time we took to let the ticks finish, and then I made a stupid mistake. But because I don't have a lock ring right now, I saw that the nozzle / focus ring was twisting because of the the movement was tugging on the air tube. So I tried to get it back so it wouldn't go out of focus, and I accidentally moved the material. I apologize, guys. So there's a tiny little gap in the 9. No big deal, guys. No big deal. No problemo, okay? Tranquilo, tranquilo. See, I like that attitude. Alex didn't see nothing. I didn't see nothing. I don't know if you guys saw nothing, but like I don't even know if I was there, to be honest. I don't think I was even there. So technically, how could I have seen anything? Yeah, Michael. I learned that at the at the Lightburn convention last October. The CEO was doing a little tutorial, and he started playing with it. Yeah, it definitely will. Especially when I put the arm in, it's gonna be like, it's not gonna be even. Guys, don't worry. I'll redo it. I'll redo the whole project. Okay, off camera, and then the next time you see it, it'll be a perfect 9. But yeah, guys, always use flood fill if you're in a situation like this where you have a bunch of things spread out. And always use the Lightburn preview because it'll give you a pretty good accurate. You saw that the time estimate was pretty on point with G-Sender's time estimate. So, and G-Sender's time estimate has been pretty on point. So it's always a good tool. Yeah, guys, I don't know if you guys have been keeping up, but Lightburn is releasing Mage Mill for CNCs, and I honestly love the work that Lightburn does. They make really cool software. They're really customer forward. They're not expensive in terms of software packages and what you're able to do with it. So the fact that they're jumping in the game for CNC router software, CAM, and G code generation is really cool. And I'll definitely be checking that out. Oh, so my tube is actually wiggling my work material a little bit. So I'll definitely have to, when we get to production, I'll definitely have to make like a clip. I'll probably make like a little wire clip anyways to hold all your wires and keeps it out of the way. Yeah, because right now it's rocking the material back and forth because the air tube is dragging along. Well, the air assist, like I won't really know until we start cutting because the air assist, like although it does like make darker engravings, it's just hard to tell because it's such a light wood at like running even without the air assist, it would have been very dark. But yeah, so far it looks pretty clean. Like technically, if I was doing a side by side with air assist and without air assist, even when engraving, you'd probably notice that it would be darker with the air assist because more of the power is making it to the material. But you will really be able to tell when we're engraving because, you know, if we can cut this thing out in like 2.5 passes, maybe 2 passes, then that would be amazing. If we can cut it out in 3 passes, that would be amazing because we're, again, just like last time, we're running it at 3 millimeters per second, which is 33%, a third faster than what we usually run our cut lines at, which is usually around 2 millimeters per second. This is set to 3. So let's say we cut in 3 passes. Usually we cut a 3 millimeter piece of ply like this in 4 passes, running 2 millimeters per second. So 25% less passes, 30% faster speed. That's all the air assist plus the honeycomb bed. So we'll see. Obviously, there's ways I can optimize it, but we shall see. yeah, honestly, Carbide Create, Carveco, VCarve, like it's different folks for different strokes for different folks. I think VCarve is probably our most popular, but it's also pretty expensive. So we'll see what it's a lot of preference. So some people might use Vectric and they don't like it. A lot of people use Vectric and they like it more than other softwares. It's kind of personal preference. But objectively, sometimes certain softwares have better feature sets than others. And I'm excited to kind of check out what Lightburn has to offer in terms of CNC code, because doing laser code is just inherently easier. Like it's way easier to design and generate G code. Doing CNC code, it's not hard, but it's still like you have to have a little bit more thought into it. So I'm excited if they can make that, if they can simplify it just a little bit. Oh, now we're wobbling quite a lot. I want to try moving it, but I don't want to touch anything because the last time that didn't go that well. I should have hoisted the air assist over the X gantry, and then it would have been like it would have been pulling upwards, and maybe it still would have twisted the lens, but at least it would have been it wouldn't have dragged across the material. Yeah, this is why we prototype stuff. This is why we try different things. Very interesting. This is like one big countdown to the actual cutting. 22 minutes left. We have one tick. We have two. We have this tick. We have the number 3, and then we have one final tick, and then we will be cutting 4 passes at 3 millimeters per second, 100% power, air assist maxed out at 30 liters per minute airflow, and my little 3D printed DIY nozzle. So if we can get 2 passes, that would be absolutely amazing. If we can get 3 passes, that would be absolutely amazing. Even if we can get 4 passes at this speed, that's still 33% more efficient with this air assist. So if it cuts through at all with this job, it's amazing. Obviously, the tube is moving around the lens, so it could be slightly out of focus. Obviously, our material isn't flat, so we could be out of focus in certain places where the wood bows. And then lastly, our material is not completely on our honeycomb bed because the honeycomb bed is not big enough. So some of it is hanging over, some of it's hanging on the border, so it's not taking advantage of like the whole benefit of having that airflow below and stuff like that. But I have my fingers crossed that we'll be able to cut at this speed, which is already a win. But if we save on any passes at all, that's like a 2 times win. All right, we are almost done. After this number, we're going to our final little tick. Then we get to the main event, the cutting. I honestly hope it tries to cut the center first. I think it will, because I think it goes to, I think that you can see in the G code that it goes from 3 to tick to center, then to the outside. So the center will show us what the cutting capability is going to be early before we have to wait for the entire outside to get cut through. All right, I'm going to be taking a closer look, see what we're doing here with our cutting. One pass. Got 2 pass. This is our last pass right here. And I'm pretty sure we cut all the way through. At least that's what it looks like. Wow. So the only thing I'm worried about is maybe that the tube dragging on our material might move it, but I'm hoping that because it's moving a little bit slower than the engraving, that it's not going to make any major moves. All right, we got 17 minutes. 17 minutes left. Kenny's looking at plasticity versus on-shape. Looks cool. We do use on-shape for our design aspects, our company designs. Oh, we got a small fire. Or is it just the embers? Oh, it's not a fire. Wait, is it? I can't tell. Oh, it is a small fire. Oh, our 3D print is on fire right now. All right, so our nozzle ended up catching fire, which is why you don't mix 3D printed nozzles and lasers. But I thought I would be able to get away with it, but it just got too hot, and yeah. So, you know what? I went for it, I tried. So the center didn't cut out. But I have a feeling it's because we just weren't like focused. The tube moving, I think it's just too much. It rocks everything out of focus. I need the set screw or the lock nut to like lock the lens in place so it can't move and can't get unfocused while you're moving. So today was not a success, but that's okay. If you've ever joined a couple of LaserBeam Lives, you know that not every LaserBeam Live is a success. But we will return in 2 weeks for LaserBeam Live episode number 50. We will redo this project. I will maybe make the next one out of resin if I can get it heat resistant enough, because I'm not ready to get like an aluminum version made that could withstand the heat. I still am in the 3D printing design phase, so I just need a material that can stand up to the heat just in case. So I will go back to the drawing board, whether that's ABS, whether that's PETG, whether that's the resin. I have a feeling that the resin is probably going to be the best, maybe. I'll have to check the heat resistance profile for all the different materials. But as you can see, we have a bit of a melted nozzle here. It didn't cut through in the center, so we have to optimize. Either we weren't in focus or there's a whole bunch of stuff. But we're going to come back next week, and hopefully my Amazon delivery driver actually shows up tomorrow, or at least by 2 weeks, so I can have the clock mechanism, so that when we actually do succeed in cutting this out, we can put the clock mechanism out in it, and we can have a nice clock. And I'll put it somewhere up there, so you guys can always see it. Okay? So maybe I'll pick a nicer design, or I'll redesign it so that I wouldn't mind having it on my wall. But yeah, this was a nice little starter. It's a bunch of clips and stuff wire management and tube management I should do over there to make sure that small little issues don't arise. But, you know, I learned a little something. Just by trying to run it, I learned a lot by how I would want something for the next version, all the little upgrades I would make to this version to make it an easier experience to use. The first thing is being a locking, like a locking focus ring. To all my Americans out there, happy 4th of July. Hopefully you guys are barbecuing, eating good, enjoying your freedom, okay? Enjoying what makes your country great. It's what we do on Canada Day. Hopefully lots of fireworks. Hope anybody out there with a dog doesn't freak out too much with the fireworks. You know, I just went through that with Zeus. Hey Zeus, buddy, are you there? Zeus, are you alive? You gonna pop your head out? Oh, there he is. There he is. Freedom dogs, baby. Here he comes. It's little pitter patters. Oh, he has a ball. Sorry guys, you guys are interrupting Zeus's fetch time. But yeah, let me know if you guys have any last questions before I end the stream. I learned a lot. We'll come back next live stream in 2 weeks, LaserBeam Live number 50, and we'll continue to optimize. But let me know if you guys have any questions before I head out. Got a couple more minutes left. Zeus would like to play more fetch, so I'm sorry guys. Fetch is the priority here, so you guys got a couple minutes left. You guys let me know. I know you guys have lots of freedom dogs. Any of you guys in the US enjoy your 4th of July. Bill, thank you very much. Bucky, thank you so much. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Kenny, thank you so much. Yeah, Michael. Hopefully some of your projects don't drive you crazy now that you know that flood fill is a thing. Barry, thanks for joining us. Nicholas, thanks for joining us. Jack, thanks for joining us. Dana, thanks for joining us. Kenny, thank you for joining us. Michael, thank you for joining us. Am I missing anybody else? If you're not, if Barry, I think I got you. Alex, thank you for joining us. If you weren't in the chat, but you were watching, or you're watching this back in a later time, thank you so much. I do appreciate you. This is LaserBeam Live number 49. My name is Ikenna for CNC Labs, and you know the deal. Whether it's morning, afternoon, evening, or night, I appreciate you spending just a little bit of your time with me. Do me a favor and like this stream, like the video, and I'll catch you in 2 weeks. Bye. Take care.